Hi, it is the Human Operating System time again. So today I like to share with you on a very critical items in the practice of Qigong meditations and internal art. And that is the natural resonance breathing. If the natural resonance breathing cannot be achieved or accomplished, one is locked out from the practice of Qigong meditation and internal art or internal martial art. That is for sure. Okay. So today I'd like to share with you on the why, what, how of the natural resonance breathing. Now, the reason I choose to share it now is because in past few days there are many meditations, Wing Chun, martial arts, internal art friends who message me, discuss with me. And after I have discussed with many of our friends, I decide to release this to public so that here on you guys know what is going on and not getting into something which is it is impossible to work. Now I don't want to use the words not very likely because there's nothing to do with being polite or being diplomatic, because people suffer that if this natural resonance breathing is not achieved or accomplished. Well, for those who want entertainment and talk philosophy, that's fine. But just look around how many people turn to Qigong meditations and internal art because we are less healthy. We want to get rid of our like stress and all kinds of stuff. So there's no room for all those kind of magic, fantasy, philosophy, speculations. There's no if or I think or maybe. Those are bullshit, okay? Now, I get this strong because people need help. And if we cannot help, we are not going to screw them, okay? So let's start. Now, for people who do not familiar with Buddhism, this is the Medicine Buddha. Medicine Buddha is the Buddha for healing, helping people, helping the helpless people. As the seventh vow of Medicine Buddha say, I vow to relieve all pain and poverty of the very sick and poor. The sick be cured, the helpless be helped, the poor be assisted. So this is the bottom line, to help people. And why is this poor and sick is linked here? If you look at it, if one is not sick, then one can work and get out from poverty. One can be in any kind of screw-up state, but as soon as one is healthy, one can always work and then learn and get out from poverty. Now, in reverse, if you look at it, if people is sick, even they want to work, they have the will to work, but because their body not allow them, so they stuck in the poverty. And thus, if the sick is not cured, then one turn into a kind of helpless state. So if you look around, like people who is like homeless and so forth, do you think they want it? Do you think those who stand in the middle of the street asking for some money want it? So look at that. Every time when we see somebody asking, for me at least, I thought about the seventh vow of the medicine Buddha. If we cannot have it, don't screw him. So if we cannot have them, don't screw them. So that's the bottom line of my sharing. Okay. Now this is the S model. This is very critical. Okay. Anything in the intelligence world, which is philosophy, entertainment, ideas, nice ideas, magical idea, or sometimes we call it the empty ideas. If you talk to the old Zen master, they say this is just false thought, empty idea. Okay, it is this. Okay, it just we can sitting down there and say maybe this, if this, it would be nice for this, and this magic will happen, and all kind of stuff. Those belong to this intelligence world where everybody have their 5 senses. Now, in order to get result and get transform the body, to get one out of the sick or the helpless states, as in the ancient teaching, one need to practice. So one need to get from intelligence world into the natural world and go step by step, transform one's body, depend on what one needs. Okay, one doesn't need to be a Buddha, but at least if one become healthy, then one can help other people, help oneself. That's good. Okay, one doesn't have to be Buddha. One can just want to be an ordinary person. Okay, and live happily and peacefully, and then be able to help other people. That's completely valid. Who say that everybody has to be Buddha anyway? Okay. So if one wants the transformations to change, then one need the practice. And in order to know the practice or be able to practice, one need to know what, why, how. Unless one knows this what, why, how, it is hopeless. One cannot sitting down there keeping reading, and Googling all kinds of article. Like people sometimes show me, this type of thing, if you have love, you will get rid of this disease, or all kind of stuff. Okay, and as when I was in Asia's Qigong forum, there are plenty of people who is poor, and you know what? Because they are so poor, they cannot afford medicines. And they thought that Qigong can help them. And end up that they pass away. Look at it, okay? So that is very sad. And as a human, we want to help those kind of thing, okay? And Qigong and all this kind of thing, meditations is good to help oneself. But medication is medication. One need medicines, okay? And after today's sharing, you will know why it is that way, okay? Now, so if you want to get transformation, you need to get into this state, okay? You need to get into this state. This state. You cannot be here thinking, dreaming, expecting, wishing. You are not getting into this state if you don't know how to get in there. Okay? Now somebody say, I do prayer and I can heal. Well, is that true? Yes, that's true. The issue is those people who do prayer, it is 24/7, 365 days kind of work. They get from this intelligent worlds, they go prayer, their mind, their body, their breathing, their everything, they just go prayer. They go in. Okay? So it is true, yes. However, if we are here, we say, do prayer. Okay, do 5 minutes of prayer every day. Forget about it. Okay? Because that another 23 hours, 55 minutes, what are you doing? Okay? So prayer is not a magic. Prayer is a reality, a practice. Okay? It doesn't matter what religions. Once one get into the prayer, one really do it 24/7, 365. It works because it is a practice. It is not sitting down here doing the empty idea, entertainment, and philosophy. Well, up to now you might thought, well, Hendrik, why are you sound so authority or whatever? Well, I'm just telling you the truth, okay? Because there are many people there out there, we don't want to screw them. Whatever, we cannot be saying, has to be diplomatic. Diplomatic what? People suffer there, struggle there. And if you want entertainment, don't watch my video. Because I'm not for entertainment. So, let's go. Now, if anybody want to attain the compassionate, mindfulness, no self state, again, it has to practice. You got to go in and then put your energy, raise your energy from the lower 3 chakra up to the heart chakra, the thought chakra, third eyes, in order to get that. It's not, again, over here, all the empty ideas, empty title, I'm the Zen master, I'm the monk, I'm all this stuff. That's bullshit, okay? If one doesn't have the energy, one cannot get that, period. And just don't say, well, my experience in enlightenment is that no mind is this, no self is this, and then, just keeping talking here. Well, once upon a time, I do that too, okay? So speaking of you, speaking of me, there's no difference. But now we know that is not proper. It is about the practice. And where we end up here, it doesn't matter. As soon as it's keeping progressing and learning, some days one will get there. Okay. Now, so why is this all have to do, got to do with natural resonance breathing? Well, this is what it is. As in my book, Meditation Matrix, okay, the Meditation Matrix, it said that there are 2 states within the holistic calmness meditation practice. And this holistic calmness meditations or holistic Qigong, all the same. So there are 2 states there, okay, there are 2 states there. And what important is the natural resonance states. So one is the intentionally regulating state. Another one is the natural resonance state. So disregard what type of meditations, what type of Qigong or internal art, one need to know there are 2 states there. Okay? That's just, if one want to practice, one need to know that. One need to get the natural resonance in order to progress here. Now, so what is the natural resonance breathing state? Natural resonance breathing state, first, we know there's a pendulum. Okay, the pendulum will swing, right? Naturally, it will swing, the pendulum. So you have the resonance frequency, okay, in the swing. Now, it is the same with humans breathing. So I use here is in the laying down position is because this is the easiest to know what is going on without getting in those cross lotus posture and all this and that and standing meditation, and everybody have their 5 cents. If you lay down and if the physical is proper, okay, which is usually is easiest to get proper physical when you lay down, the diaphragm here is going to move up and down naturally when one breathing. And that naturally move up and down is the natural resonance state. Okay? So one do not say, I want to have a low abs breathing, I have to inhale and my stomach will expand, and my exhale my stomach will contract. I have to put one hand here, one hand on my chest. Not those kind of stuff. Okay, those are good practice, but those are not natural resonance. Natural resonance means one lay down right away, and thus diaphragm, when the breathing, once breathe, inhale, exhale, and moving back and forth like a pendulum. It has its own frequency. Okay? And then the amplitude and so forth will change depending on how deep one get into the meditations or Qigong state. Okay? So this is the natural breathing, natural resonance breathing state. If one is not get into the state, forget about the training of Qigong and so forth. Okay, so if one talk about the Taoism, it is very common. People talk about the Qi flow. Okay, the Qi flow like this. The Qi is flowing. Okay, say from the Dantian area, it got heat and then it flow up and then come back. Well, you know what? What they don't tell you is the prerequisite. One need to have the resonance breathing. In the Taoist or the Qigong or the internet is naming as rising and sinking. So the natural resonance breathing has to happen first, because there is a rising and sinking of the post-birth Qi, and only that the reaction happen, and then when one will have those Qi and so forth, so forth. So this is the key of it. Okay, and if one is in, say, Buddhism, if one want to get to the samadhi, the mind and breathing has to be synchronized, and one has to have the natural resonance breathing, get to that state before one get into this mind and breathing synchronized state. So that's how critical it is. If you miss that thing, all bets off. Okay? Now, speaking of this natural resonance, one need to handle one's body. Okay? So one need to know how to have a natural alignment or natural placement of the human skeleton and human body, physical body element. That's why over here you see the first is physical body element, the second is mind, the third is breathing. One need to be able to have a proper handling of the body. This part of the body, the spine, and the shoulder. Without this handling properly, the natural resonance is not going to happen. Okay? So one cannot say, you know what, like somebody who practice in the internal art, usually they say, I want to straighten my spine. Well, you're messing around with that, you're not going to get your natural resonance breathing. The spine will naturally straighten out in the natural way when the body balance or get the state of the balance and the energy and so forth. It is a practice. So the spine will straighten up naturally when one get into the natural world and keeping continuous practice and energy build out and so forth, then get there. It's not there manipulated. Okay? So the first thing is one need to just obey the law of nature of the body. The second thing is this shoulder blade area, this shoulder area. It has to open up. so that one be able to breathe properly. It is not like today's internal art or something. People is like their chest is concave in and all kinds of ideas. If you go, say, 80 years ago, you go practice Tai Chi or those Zhan Zhuang, everyone will tell you, the teacher will tell you to open up this shoulder area so that you can breathe. That is the proper way. But today you look at that most people is concaving their chest and all kinds of stuff. Well, if this 3 point is not handled, you block yourself out of natural lower abs breathing. You're going to go nowhere, okay? That's for sure. So if this is the physical body is locked out, you cannot have the natural resonance. Stop talking about the chi, and then stop talking about the mind and all this kind of stuff, okay? No cell, okay? Forget about it. So, as again in my book, The Meditation Matrix, you see for the sitting down there, they are number one need to pay attention how to have a firm or really effortless weight support here. And then the second is how to handle the spine naturally. The third is how does like across here, the shoulder and the spine has to be in position so that one be able to naturally, effortlessly breathe. So without this physical body element handling, how are we supposed to do the natural resonance breathing? It can. And if we don't know that there is the natural resonance state, what are we doing? We can spend a lifetime there, but that's not what the ancient grandmaster or patriarch thought. Those are not what Buddhas teach. So who created? Whose 5 senses is that? Okay? And how can you expect anything with this kinds of empty ideas, entertainment, and philosophy? Okay? So this is a reality. I know it's very hard to swallow by many people, but this is a reality. Now, this is natural resonance breathing state. Okay, if one get into this area, natural resonance state. And this is the mind and breathing synchronizations. Now, why is that the 6 healing sounds, like from the Chinese and the Tibetan Buddhism, have a different techniques in the breathing and so forth come into play? Well, because this. If you are a healthy person, you get into the natural resonance, right away you will get into the mind and breathing synchronizations, and then you can proceed with your training and transformations of your body, okay, getting healthier and so forth, so forth. The issue is if we are sick, have different type of disease, this natural resonance breathing will not be smooth or sometimes even not be able to achieve. That is the time one need the 6 healing sound techniques or the Tibetan the breathing techniques and so forth to help it, so that the natural resonance breathing can be installed. And then with that, one get into the mind and breathing synchronizations and proceed. So this is like medicine. And if you need medications here, you need medications. Because without them, say for example, if you have a cold, if you don't take medicines, you have a stuffy nose, how are you going to do the natural resonance breathing? You might not even be able to lay flat because of all these congestions. So do you need medicine? Sure. There's nothing against each other there. You just make use of everything to proceed. So this is how all the relationship You need the natural resonance breathing. You need the six healing sound or Tibetan Buddhism's breathing practice, or the Taoism Qigong practice. All this is valid here to help one to secure or get the natural resonance breathing get deeper. And only that one be able to get the mind breathing synchronized and proceed. So this is the facts. This is the reality. So this is what I'd like to share with you today. Okay, I know I speak very strongly in this in this video, but I cannot sugarcoat things because this is reality. Look at how many people out there needs help. If we cover up things with a sugar coating or nonsense, we are screwing people right and left. For what? So this is to share with you today.